This is my Steam library. I have 275 games in my account. Some of them I bought myself, some of them are given to me by my friends, and some of them I received during the giveaway. I don't play with all these games, but get enjoyment from the ones I do play. Let's ask something that might not cross the average person's mind. Do I own my games? It might seem like a silly question. Of course I own all my games. I have them all in my Steam library and am able to install them and play them at any time. I can request a refund in case I don't like the game, or if the game doesn't run well on my computer. Do I really own my games on this computer though? Not really, as the digital storefronts and streaming services of today only offer the license to rent and not the license to own. How did ownership of media change from where you could buy something from a store and keep it indefinitely to where you could buy something on the internet at full price for practically a lifetime rental period? If you join a subscription service that has the content you want, do you really own it, or did the service lend the content to you for a monthly fee? Digital services are nice and convenient, but we don't own any of the products we buy and use on them. We need features on these services that give users a greater feeling of ownership by giving them greater control over the products they purchase and use. Before there was iTunes, there was Ayuma. Founded in 1993, the Internet Underground Music Archive was a platform where underground independent artists could share their music with the world. It allowed users to purchase high-definition music from the artists themselves. It took a very long time for users to upload and download music, as speeds were much slower then, but was very much ahead of its time and it shook the music community by storm. 6 years later, music lovers flocked to Napster, a peer-to-peer music service. Users were able to share any song through the Napster platform, and as such, they had an issue with copyright law. With the introduction of the iTunes Store in 2003, both services faded into obscurity alongside services that big music labels distributed music on. iTunes, in its later years, started distributing movies and TV shows alongside another competing service known as Vudu. In 2002, a year before iTunes got a store, Steam started going to beta as Valve's main content delivery provider for its games. Years later, Valve allowed other game developers and publishers to release their games on its platform, making Steam the PC gaming juggernaut it is today, and it inspired the console and mobile platforms alike to follow suit. Whenever you purchase something digitally, you own the license to download or stream that product. If you violate the terms of service in any way, or if the service goes down permanently, you can lose your account with all your licenses. This could mean that thousands of dollars worth of games could go to waste if Steam shuts down forever. This isn't the only way you could lose products. You could lose the ability to buy them altogether. In January of 2018, Activision lost the rights to the Transformers franchise. As a result, the digital versions of the games were quickly taken down from all major storefronts, no longer allowing the user to purchase the title. If you owned the games beforehand, you could still play them, but you were out of luck when it comes to buying them. This happened to many different games as well, as documented by Dealistic Games on Twitter. It happened with services like Vudu as well, which has a habit of removing movies from people's wishlists and collections. If you wanted to use the products you buy without a special player, then you also have an issue. DRM, also known as Digital Rights Management, could be in place. This is supposed to get pirates to stop sharing copyrighted materials illegally, but this also stops the legitimate owner of the product from using it as they please. This controls how, when, and whether a product can be used. Almost every service utilizes this practice, from iTunes to Netflix. Sometimes the copyright holders try to implement DRM themselves. In 2008, Spore was released with a modified version of the Securom DRM that made a single license key only usable on a maximum of 3 to 5 computers. This sparked outrage from the game community, which led to a major class action lawsuit against Electronic Arts. This forced them to strip the Securom DRM from their games, alongside offering deauthorization tools for the games affected. The 2010s brought us another controversial DRM known as Denuvo, which requires an online connection to activate a purchased title. This is a problem if you want to play a game offline. This DRM also harmed the performance of games that used it due to it running in the background. DRM is one of the most important issues of the digital age, as it disallows users from enjoying products by forcing them to use the products within artificial boundaries. All subscription-based streaming services have one thing in common. They only give you content when you are subscribed to their services. They have exclusive original content, and they have the right to change their price at any time, which services such as Netflix have already done on occasion. You don't own anything on these services, including original content. Content can leave joining services at any time. Most of the time, there isn't a release of the original content on DVD, Blu-ray, or digital. As a result of the fragmented streaming services and the many different exclusives they offer, piracy is expected to double as people are sick and tired of the many services they pay for every month, despite executives of these services saying otherwise. When streaming services first got popular, they would be right by stating that these services reduce piracy. Now, instead of 1 or 2 services, people must pay for services to have the content they want to watch, and since there are so many different services, this can confuse the consumer on which one to choose. These services exist for consumer convenience, but the overwhelming amount of them removes convenience for the consumer. Plus, there are many other problems these have, such as DRM and service outages. There's also a limit on some services where only a certain number of screens can stream from the same account, meaning that if you have 4 people streaming at the same time on a Netflix premium account, no one else can stream unless one user logs off. A lot of this is like cable TV, although streaming services have the content you want to watch right in front of you rather than channels with specific programming. Ever since digital services have been around, most of them don't allow the user to truly own the digital content they pay for. Here are some suggestions for content providers that could help give users greater control over the content they buy and consume. Remove DRM or add an option for DRM-free downloads. Now, services such as Google Play Music, iTunes, and GOG already allow you to do this. However, many services still rely on some sort of DRM to use the content. If service providers only allow users' content to run on their service, do people really own that content? The main reason why some people commit piracy is some hacker groups provide DRM-free content that can be used anywhere. Instead of restricting the user with DRM, why not allow owners to stream content they own on any device they choose? This can lower piracy while allowing users to freely use their content for personal use. Allow the user to resell or get a refund for digital content. Some digital storefronts already offer refunds, however not many services offer the ability to resell their games. Valve, the operator of Steam, is currently in a legal battle in a French court about letting the end user resell digital content that they own. If this goes into effect, it could allow users to have a greater amount of control over the products they purchase. If you want to give users a feeling of ownership, allow them to resell and get refunds for products they buy, much like physical products. Don't be like Microsoft in 2013 and announce that you can't resell your games because every game disc activates online. I will never forgive that, even though they fixed it a bit later and I own an Xbox One. Allow users to keep their purchases and get updates for them even if they get banned. This one should be explanatory. When it comes to digital licenses, any license can be willfully taken away by the distributor if you violate the terms of use. This contrasts with the popular view of ownership, where if you buy it, you keep it for as long as you want to keep it. Since the customer bought a digital product with their own money, they should be able to keep it even if they somehow violate the terms of use. Allow users to buy exclusive content from streaming services. When it comes to exclusive content, most streaming services don't usually sell them separately. They only really put out separate releases when an exclusive movie or series is popular enough. Having the option to purchase any exclusive as a digital-only download would not only make more money for the service provider, but also allow the consumer to own content exclusive to the service whether they have a subscription or not. In conclusion, the digital age has been a rough time for ownership. Previously with digital media, whenever you bought something you were entitled to keep it for as long as you want. You were able to resell products to the secondary market and get refunds for products that didn't meet your expectations. Since the idea of digital storefronts and subscription services became more popular, it becomes slightly harder to own anything you buy or use. Some digital retailers have made it so they're able to refund products, but we haven't seen anything that allows you to resell products to other users. allow users to keep products, or legitimately buy products which the publishers no longer have the licenses to. There's nothing wrong with owning or using digital media streaming services, but users must be informed that products they buy from digital storefronts aren't theirs to own, and that they don't own anything on streaming services that they pay for every month. Enjoy everything you buy digitally for as long as you're able to keep it.